welcome to a naan bread making video. I've never done naan bread before, so we're going to give it a go today and fingers crossed this works. So let's crack on. Thing I needed to do was put 125 ml of warm water into a bowl and sprinkle over the yeast. I'm actually going to put it in a jug because I feel like putting it in a bowl is just the same as putting it in a jug. So I've put that in there and it says sprinkle over the yeast and 1 teaspoon of the sugar. Now it does say you need 2 teaspoons of golden caster sugar. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open the yeast ready. Now yeast smells really weird, but I do understand why it smells weird, because it does weird things. Right, so I need 1 teaspoon of golden caster sugar, and that's going to feed the yeast. So that's going in there, ready? And then it says sprinkle the yeast over it. And I'm assuming that feeds the yeast. So I'm going to carefully lift this. So the yeast is in there doing its thing. I'm going to just move that to the side. And it says to leave it until it foams or until it's frothy. So we will let that just do that. In a larger bowl, put the flour, remaining sugar. So I need 300 grams of flour. I'm going to put it in here, I think. Am I? No, I'll tell you what. I won't use my mixer today. We will use my trusted when she can get it out of the cupboard. My trusted plastic bowl. Took me a while to get it out of the cupboard. Just make sure it's clear. Right. So, oh, you can smell that yeast doing its thing. So I need, what do I need? 300 grams of my white bread flour. So I'm just going to weigh that out. And then you also need the 1 teaspoon of sugar, half a teaspoon of salt and half a teaspoon of baking powder. So I'm going to get all that into here and then I'll give it a quick mix for you to see. It says to mix this together. So I'm going to grab a spoon and just give it a mix. Just combine all of it, because then you put the wet ingredients into the dry ingredients. So a good old mix. Now it does say with the yeast that you need to leave it for 10 to 15 minutes or until frothy. So I'm going to give that a little while. I may have accidentally got a bit of flour in places. So that is all mixed. I'm going to make a well ready. But it does also say that you need 25 grams of butter melted. Now I am going to put this in the microwave just for 30 seconds to melt it, but I'm going to wait until that's all frothy. So you do need melted butter for this, but you only need 25 grams and then a little bit for the tray that you place the naan breads on and the brushing on the top. I'm not going to worry about that. So, and then it says, yeah, you pour the melted butter, yogurt, nigella seeds and yeast mixture. Well, I'm using black onion seeds from Marks and Spencer's and you only need 1 tablespoon. So what I'm thinking of doing is I'll weigh out my yogurt. So I've got normal standard Aldi yogurt today. I'm also using Aldi pantry flour because it took me 3 shops to actually find bread flour. So I've actually chosen Aldi's today, so fingers crossed it works out well. I do need, I think it's 150 ml of this. Yeah, so I don't know what I'm going to put that in yet. I might just have to try and measure it straight into there and then I don't dirty another bowl. So fingers crossed. But I'll be back when the yeast mixture's ready. I mean, to me that looks kind of frothy, so I'm thinking about going ahead and trying it. We'll see. So then it says to pour the melted butter, yogurt, nigella seeds and yeast mixture, stir well. So butter is melted, ready to go. Natural yogurt, I need 150 ml. which I believe is 150 grams, and that's what I'm going to go with because that's as far as I'm aware. So what I'm going to do, I've got my little well ready, got my little well in that, so let's put that on there, zero it. I need 150. It's going to be difficult to see. Just don't want to dirty another bowl if I can help it. That's 100. 140. 151. We'll go with that. There we go. So that's 150 in there. Butter has also got to go in. That's what it's telling me to do. So that's that. Nigella seeds, we've got 1 tablespoon going in. So that's that. And then the yeast mixture. And then it just says mix. So I'm going to pop that in. Okay, just going to get a scraper because I don't really want to waste any of the yeast stuff. Okay, I'll keep the scraper out just in case. So, I'll show you me mixing. And it's apparently meant to form a dough, so fingers crossed, eh? Never made naan bread, so we'll see how this goes. I'll come back. A tiny bit wet, so I've added a little bit more flour in the hope that it'll not be as wet. But then it says when you're happy, you need to start kneading it. So I think that's pretty good. So I'm just going to get that onto a floured surface and we'll start kneading. Okay, so I'm going to tip it out and then we're going to knead away. So it should be alright. If it's too wet, it'll pick up a bit of the flour. So we should then be alright. But it says to knead for 10 minutes or until smooth and elastic. So we will see what happens, eh? It's a bit sticky. Still a little bit too sticky for my liking. But it's alright, we'll pick up some flour off the side and then it won't be as sticky. And being as this is the first time I'll have ever made naan bread, let's hope it works. Because then it'll be naan bread for lunch, I reckon, today. This is potentially going to be my lunch. Just some naan bread that I can put some butter and things on. So, it's a bit sticky still. You might find it gets a bit sticky, but that's okay. We've got plenty of flour we can pop on it. It's a bit sticky again. Just going to flour my hands. Stop it sticking to my hands a bit. But no, I'll continue to knead and then I'll show you the end result. So my dough is there. I've just got to put a bit of butter on the bottom of a bowl and then put it in it. So then it says to leave it to double in size for up to an hour. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave it for an hour and see if it doubles in size. Okay, so I'm not sure if this is going to be easy to show you, but my dough has doubled in size by quite a bit actually. And then it says to divide it into 6 dough balls. Now, I'm not sure how easy that's going to be. Oh, it's going to come out quite easily. But it doesn't say anything about It just says divide the dough into 6 balls and put them on a baking tray. So we're going to do that. I've got my frying pan heating up ready. It says to put it onto a tray and cover with a tea towel. Now I am going to put a tea towel over those in just a moment. But then it says take one of the balls of dough and roll it out to form a teardrop shape that's approximately 21 centimetres long and around 13 centimetres. I've done one tiny ball because I wanted to do a kind of test run with frying, because I've never done it before with naan bread. So I've done a smallish ball and I'm going to try and do like a miniature naan bread, and it says teardrop. Now I kind of know what a teardrop looks like, so considering, you know, this is going to be a test naan bread, if you like, I think that's pretty fairly teardrop shaped. Obviously we'll see how it goes when it comes to frying, but I think that is pretty teardrop shape, so I'm gonna try that one when the frying pan's hot enough, and then we'll roll the rest. So this is my test run one. I'll show you this one being fried, and then I'll show you the end result for all of them, so fingers crossed. Okay, so the pan's not quite hot enough yet, but I've put it in so that we can see what happens when it does get hot enough. Because I've got a funny suspicion that when that gets hot enough it'll puff up a bit, so we'll see. I mean, I think we're doing pretty good. It says to do it for 3 or 4 minutes on either side, but you can tell this pan's getting hot because it's smoking a lot. So it is still rather doughy though, so I'm just trying to occasionally flip it just to make sure I don't burn it. Okay, so this is the first one. It's had 3 minutes on this side, which is why it's kind of dark on one side, and it's just finishing off its 3 minutes on the other, but I'm actually really happy with how it's turned out. My test run, where have I put that? Over there. It seems okay, maybe a little bit doughy in the middle, but that was just a quick test one, so I'm going to taste that one shortly, but there's the first one. Oh, so I have already tried it, but I'm going to try it on camera because I completely forgot when I got too tempted. But just before I do that, I have the nice ones here. I might even make something from them for lunch. But this one's kind of cold now, but I'm going to try it anyway. It is a little bit doughy in the middle because this one was my test one, but I managed to perfect it on the rest. So they actually are really soft in the middle, which is really nice. They are a little bit dry though, so obviously you would normally have something on them, which is why I normally buy like, they're actually not that doughy looking at it. And they've got lots of air holes, which is amazing. They're actually really, really good. And I can't actually wait to eat them. You know, whether it lunches. Sorry, I got bread stuck in my mouth. Lunches, teas. If you want a quick and easy thing to do, yes, you have to leave them to prove for an hour, but you can leave them to prove and go and do something else. I sat and did a load of YouTube planning, which, as this video is being filmed, please feel free to leave any comments down below with 2021 suggestions. I will be finishing off the bake-off challenges into next year as well, because I was a bit late starting them this year, and then because of lockdown and budget, I wasn't able to do everything that I wanted to do. So I'm going to try and continue those on as quickly as possible into next year, and if you do want to see any other videos, let me know in the comments below, especially if it's baking related, because as some of you may or may not be aware, at the time of filming this video, I've put in my bake-off application, so fingers crossed. And yeah, I'll see you all soon. Bye!